Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's ad-free live stream. Super pumped that you're here. My name is Tyler, and today in this live stream, I'm going to be pointing out the bias for the market. I'm going to be sharing daily trading bias. I'm going to share real trades, whether I take them or not. It's the day before NFP, so we'll see about if we are actually going to take them or not. But that's what you can expect here on the live stream. If you're watching this after the fact, you can jump down to the key moments using the chapter marker below, and you'll see all the trades that I've taken, along with a detailed explanation, basically explaining what I was thinking and why. Lastly, you can use the code DTJ. DTJ will get you 80% off Apex. I use Apex for my funded journey. I did a big video on them about a payout denial, but I just recently got another payout from them. So it works. You just have to follow the rules. And in my opinion, good traders end up following those similar rules anyway. So let's go ahead, open in prayer, and we'll get started. Father, we honor you this morning. Thank you for the opportunity to build wealth through day trading. Lord, I just pray that you'd bless every single person that is a part of this stream. Lord, that they would see increase by the work of their hands. And Father, that they would have and exercise patience, along with myself, to exercise patience as we wait for A+ setups. And if they do not show up, Father, we choose to be patient, knowing that you are our provider, not by a click of a button. Father, we honor you. In Jesus' name, amen. Good morning, Tony, Guttenberg, Nicolo. How are you doing this morning? Glad to have you here this morning. We are going to have a bit of a shorter stream here today, as I will be headed out to Texas here shortly. We had some unfortunate events happen. My wife's car broke down, started smoking on the side of the road. It's a decent car too. It's a GMC. It's a 2015 GMC, so it's only 10 years old. Taking good care of it. My wife is religious on replacing and doing the oil changes, so really strange. So that's over at the shop right now. We got to figure that out. We had to do another car Turo rental to basically still go on the trip without having to take the Tesla, which I don't really want to take the Tesla on a 10-hour trip. It will really slow us down, especially when you don't want to be driving all day. So we're going to be leaving here and getting things situated. I'll probably be leaving around 10:30 New York Standard Time and probably call it a day, whether I've taken a trade or not. And with that being said, more than likely we're not taking a trade today. We're going to be very, very picky, and here's why. Tomorrow's NFP. Today either is going to be fantastic price action or it's not going to be good price action at all. We just got to find out. And if it's great price action, we'll take a stab at it. Well, I mean, I'm willing to take the risk, but does it make sense? That's the big question we have to answer. So we're going to go ahead, check out the charts and see what we got and get ready for the opening bell here this morning. We are at all-time highs. So we got to make sure we keep that in mind as we consider everything, because right now I would say everything's in really, really extreme premium. Here's the previous day's high or all-time high sitting right now. And I have this 1 hour BISI on here because on the hourly we have not closed. Maybe we have on very closely, but look, it's respected this 1 hour BISI. So a close below this is going to be my confirmation of a bearish bias. A close below this is going to be a confirmation of a bearish bias that we may push lower, at least to this low right here. But we need to wait for that type of hit. Now, could we use this as a draw of liquidity? The London lows as a draw on liquidity? I think so. But we got to see the market want to give it to us right now. So those are the higher time frame targets that really, when you're at all-time highs, there's not much for you to look at. So that's pretty much what we got going on. We have a 1 hour BISI. We got all-time highs. We got our new day opening gaps sitting right here, and we have our midnight open sitting down here. We have our opening range gap that's also ready to rock and roll sitting right here. The opening price, the closing price from yesterday, settlement price from yesterday is right here. So wherever price closes is what it's going to be. And right now it's pretty small. We're looking at roughly less than 10 handles. Less than 10 handles. We'll see where price ends up here in the next 9 minutes. So good morning, Ted. Zoltan. Good morning, my friend. How you doing? Glad to have you. Now on this channel, we trade only the Nasdaq. I do have ES up on my charts. This is ES right here. So I will keep track of that. I'm watching to see if it wants to run Asia lows and all-time highs. We got, I mean, it's really consolidated right here in a basic consolidation pattern. We'll see if it wants to do like some type of spike to previous day highs and then drop. That would be a nice potential move if it did a move like that. But we don't, I only use that as my confirmation for a trade that I'm going to take on the Nasdaq. My trade copier has not been working properly. It's in a constant loading phase, and it hasn't loaded yet. So we'll see if that actually wants to load for me. And I think that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple here, folks. We got news at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock news is, and by the way, my computer is so much smoother this morning. I don't know what the deal was yesterday. 8:30 we had unemployment claims. So what happened at 8:30? Where's 8:30? 8:30? There's 8:30. Unemployment claims. We had our wick of the high, and then we ran for the data low pretty quickly. So that's been done and gone with, and that's it. We're good. We're good. We got nothing else for news today. So pretty good for that. You got stopped in profit. I missed my max TP on the earlier breaker. I missed that set on EQ lows, 21,506. What time? Was it a bullish or bearish breaker? I'm assuming bearish. That's a 2-minute. I like this breaker right here. Nice little breaker. High, low, higher, high. Drops lower. Straight consolidation right now. So, guys, with this, there's nothing I want to take. Absolutely not. Troy, welcome. How you doing, my friend? Glad to have you. 740? Oh, right here. Got it. Yes. Oh, well, that makes sense. Stopped out. That would make sense. Now, there's a mechanical breaker. I think I've mentioned on the channel before that you take these for 10 handle moves, 10, 20 handle moves, and when it comes back up, you can take it for another 10 handle moves because sometimes it will give you 2 or 3 entries. Sometimes it will do that. It's nerve-wracking at times, but it has worked. I don't actually do it. I've just noticed it over and over. Future Millionaire. That is the title I like to see. Welcome. Patrick, good morning. Troy, I'm glad you're here as well. We got 5 minutes till open. We got a wick of all of this low resistance liquidity. Look how we just wicked that. Now let's see if this wants to push higher right here. That would be my guess, is that this candle pushes higher. Especially when you stab and it disappears completely. So at a minimum, I'm looking for this high. Maybe these highs right here and here. But we're 5 minutes before open, so my assumption is we probably won't reach up there, but we should hit this high. Okay, my copier is not working, so we're not going to be able to do any copy trades this morning. I'm not too torn up about it, to be honest. It'd be good just to trade one account. Let me see if this is on. I'll probably be doing this screen here. There we go. But even in that stab lower, we created equal lows with this down close candle. So, oh, dang it. That is, no, that is correct. This is so far opening range gap, a little more than 10 handles. There's a sweep of that high. And this is just order flow reading, folks. If I'm looking for a trade idea right now around opening price, it's going to be price moving towards midnight open and the new day opening gaps. That's the most obvious right now. Basically filling this 1 minute fair value gap. It could stop right here. There's also a volume imbalance right here. Watch this. Watch this. I'm calling this now. We're going to fill this volume imbalance right here, and it will stop right there. I don't know how long, but this is going to be my guess. Drop, stop, pop, and lock. I don't know. Something like that. Or the other way around. Come here, hit the highs, and then, but there'll be a pause right in the middle of this new day opening gap with this level there. Waiting on the 5-minute breaker. Ted, what do you got? Yeah, there is that. We did hit the new day opening gap. We did bounce from there right around the midpoint and that fair value gap, last fair value gap in this price leg here. So just interesting to see how we did wick below this, cleared out this, all these, this low resistance liquidity, and then we pushed higher. And we did. It looks like we did hit that level there. Got 1 minute till open. TradingView has been freezing for me a little bit here as well. Not today, yesterday. Today is significantly better. Okay, wicked above the high here. Failure to push higher. I'd like it to see run these equal lows here. We do have the midpoint of this opening range gap that it could pause at. We'll see what it wants to do here. Ideally, let's see if it wants to leave a fair value gap as it pushes lower. But if it just stays right here, taps the midpoint of that opening range gap, and that has been the story. There's the push. Covers up that fair value gap completely, overlapping price action right off the open. Meaning, what do we want to wait for? We want to wait for a fair value gap. Okay. It did push lower. It didn't grab, it did tag this fair value gap right here. Did it get all the way down here? No, not quite. Dang it. Probably run for that high right there. No surprise there. See if it wants to push one more time, and then let's see if it wants to drop here. Dropping down to a lower time frame to see where the bodies are closing. Okay, we do have a breaker right here. We'll see if it wants to find support inside this order block and see if it wants to push back up higher. Now, the only concern I have is we already hit the previous day high. But I want to see if it wants to melt right here and see if it wants to fall apart. That's what I would like. I'd like for it to run for the London lows. That's the most obvious level. And the 5 minutes closing we got a minute and 30 seconds left. We'll see where this 5 minute closes. I did take a quick scalp off of this previous day high. When we hit the high, I did a 10 handle short. It's not a trade idea that I'm going to plaster all over the internet simply because it's more a little bit about speculation, how you feel about it, more than specific rules and guidelines. So we came up, hit it, we closed here, we hit it again, and I went short right there for just 10 handles and got out. Okay, this is what I was thinking it might do, is not find support here because we hit the previous day high and see if it wants to move lower. But we still haven't gotten a single fair value gap in this price action, so all of this is just price reading. We're not really trying to take a trade here. The only thing that was obvious to me was when we hit that high, we should get some type of retracement, and that's what I did. It works for breakers. It works for swing lows and swing highs pretty often. And they need to be significant, but you just watch it. When we've been hovering just underneath it, so pop, drop. All right, so the 5 minute just closed right here. It did close above the pre-market high at 8 a.m. We'll see where this next candle wants to go here. It's just we're too high for me to go long. It's too high to go long. I really want to get a retracement. On an hourly basis, here's where we're sitting. Okay, we did find support in this fair value gap, this hourly, and it has the energy to move higher. Now it's just, what do we want to do now that we've hit the all-time highs again? If we go to the 4 hour, we got no fair value gaps. Our nearest 4 hour fair value gap is down here. So we're looking at over 100 handles to get to this 4-hour fair value gap sitting down here. Whoops. I don't have no clue why I did that. I meant to click the 5-minute button. Okay. Another sweep of liquidity on the 5-minute. Another sweep on the 1-minute. Let's see where we close here. We still don't have a fair value gap to go off of, guys. So it's kind of playing in the dark here. We have a 30-second right here. A 30-second would, I mean, that could work. Actually, more than likely, if it does work, it's going to be very aggressive. That 30-second is sitting right here. So we'll mark that out. I'm going to leave it red for right now. It's just so it stands out. See if it wants to close here. I mean, it's not a bad. We swept the high again. Let's see what it wants to do here. It might be a move the stop to break even fairly quickly type of trade, and unless it wants to run right here. You want to wait for a close. We have these 3 order blocks right here. Or these 3 up close candles. See if it closes below that. Yeah, there it goes. Let's see if it wants to continue right there. Looking for that low. So we did have this candle's wick right here. This is where you may consider moving your stop to break even if we break below this. So I did take that. We're still in it right now. We're seeing if it wants to push down there. I'm just looking for 10 handles to get in and out. If we hit back to break even, I will close this for break even trade. Oh my gosh. It swept that low but didn't hit my target. I'm going to close that because it swept the low. I don't want it to run back against me. I should have taken that when it did that. My target was just a hair bit too low compared to that swing low. And we're in a market where things are kind of a little bit choppy. We still haven't gotten our first fair value gap on the 1 minute. So I'm not going to mess around too much with trying to be there's a crude term. There's a crude term, being a dick for a tick. We're not going to do that. We'll just get out. Watching it hit this order block right here, want to see if it finds resistance inside these 3 up close candles and pushes lower. Right now, I'm just reading order flow at this point. No more trade ideas at this point because the 30-second did play out. It did hit our level. It's just all a little bit wicky. It's all just a little bit wicky. 30-second sweep of the high. Let's see. Tony, I execute on trade of 8, but right now my trade copier is not working. So I'm trading another account directly on TradingView. I normally do trade of 8. I prefer trade of 8. Excuse me. I'm getting it mixed up. They sound the same. I typically execute on TradingView with my trade copier with Apex. It's not working this morning. So I'm single account solo, and that's 50 and so I'm only trading one account right now, and that's just on trade of 8. So I'm on trade of 8 for this morning. Wiki, wiki, wiki. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. TOC, good morning. Sandra, good morning. We have a small volume imbalance on the previous 1 minute we can stab into. That's what I mentioned this right here. I called this out before, and I thought we might stab for it at open. We didn't get it on open. I was hoping for the opening stab. But for sure, that's where it's going to run. And it's right in the middle of this fair value gap, in the middle of the new day opening gap. I mean, it's an obvious level. I use the Apex copier so I can do my executions on TradingView. But you can use the Trade of 8 copier, which is 100% free if you want to execute on Trade of 8, which I don't have a problem executing on either of them. Both have their pros and cons. The pro for Trade of 8 is you can do bracketing orders. On TradingView, you can't do bracketing orders. So on some of my quicker trades, I'll do Trade of 8 because I want to enter and set my TP at 10 handles right away, because usually it's involving volatility. So I want to be able to do that quickly. Five-minute OB. I don't know if I see a nice one yet. Am I missing what you're saying, Ted? The 930 candle, 5-minute candle, has too much of a wick for me to want to use that as an order block. So I need to combine these two, and we haven't closed below that one yet. And we haven't even had our 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle is going to close wiki. It's going to close like a doji candle, most likely. We do have our first potential fair value gap on the 1 minute right here. We'll see if it gives it to us. My guess is it probably won't. Hitting a 30-second OB in this candle right here. Yeah. Really, guys, what I would be looking at, because there's not a fair value gap in this, I would be doing that exact thing by reading what are we hitting. But if it fails, just don't get on yourself, because, I mean, we're kind of consolidating. We're in an extremely tight range from this opening range gap to the previous day high. So we did an immediate rebalance. This is what we call immediate rebalance, but it only qualifies as immediate rebalance if this candle explodes. We need to see this candle, or at the latest, the next candle, have a very volatile expansion higher. That's how you know this is an immediate rebalance. Yes, it immediately rebalanced, but one of the signatures in an immediate rebalance in good price action is that the next candle starts expanding. So it has to be used in the right context. If it's not used in the right context, you could actually mistakenly think that this is a immediate rebalance, go long, and then it doesn't work out, right? I wouldn't be using this to go long because we're in consolidation. I mean, we really haven't done anything yet. So if it does work, it can go without me. We didn't even grab liquidity on the sell side. We're in between this high and this low in this price leg. So there's really not much for me to, for us to do here. Flight suit. You can set bracket orders on TradingView using the trading tool dropdown. Yes, but I like to do market orders. So I want to do market orders for my entries. Many of my trades are market orders because I'm reacting to what I'm seeing in price action. Sometimes I can see price move and I'm thinking, oh, I want to get in here and I'll set a limit order. But I would probably say I only do that 10 to 15% of the time. The rest of the time I'm market ordering. And to do market orders, I haven't found a way that TradingView allows you to do bracket market orders. Does that make sense? While on Tradeovate, I can set my rules on how I want my entries to look, and it's pretty slick on Tradeovate. So the expectation for today, guys, is crappy price action. Why? Because tomorrow is NFP. Tomorrow is NFP, and we should get some nice high volatility moves tomorrow. And it wouldn't surprise me if today is a setup for tomorrow to go short, to go lower. But we can't, the thing that we just got to make sure we don't do is bet on all-time highs being set. All-time highs always wins. Making new all-time highs seems to always win, especially yesterday. I got slapped in the face yesterday. So, Kane, the CE of the order block, the term is the mean threshold. Order blocks have mean thresholds. Fair value gaps have consequent encroachments. Why is it different? We typically don't want to see the mean threshold of an order block tagged. We typically want it to stay above it. So we call it the threshold, saying we don't want it. This is the last threshold that I'm willing to consider it as an order block. When it starts moving below that, that's when you're like, it's past the threshold. I don't like it. While on a fair value gap, the consequent encroachment, we're looking for it to tag the midpoint because it's a signature and price that we like to see. Can you queue your orders before market opens on TV or Tradeovate? I was not able to do it on a sim on TV. Can you queue your orders before market opens? Yeah, you can put a limit order on your chart before market opens. And then when it tags it, it tags it. You should be able to do that. Am I understanding your question? Right, Sandra? This 5-minute candle, we'll see. We're on the 15-minute. I just realized that. What does the 5-minute look like? Still nothing here. Oop, here we go. All right, here's our first reaction. Look where that reaction happened. Right at that volume imbalance. Tagged that. Here's going to be our first fair value gap, most likely. Here's our first fair value gap. Now, are we going to chase this? I'm not. You can't chase it. There wasn't an entry. Yeah, no, there wasn't an entry. No entry. Now, what I would love to see is an institutional order flow entry drill where we pop into that fair value gap and then drop, but I don't want to see this low taken. And then we have London low down here. All right, so where's 930? 930. I like this right here. We'll see. that could be an entry. If you're thinking we're still bearish and we're going to go lower, you want to see the new day opening gap find resistance there. It's not a bad play. The 2 minute, did we close below the 2 minute? We haven't closed below the 2 minute yet. Watching this 2 minute to close here. If we can get a 2 minute to close, I'd be interested in running for the lows and maybe the midpoint of that. See if it wants to tag this first fair value gap right here. No close below that 2 minute fair value gap, so still sitting on our hands. There is a 1 minute, it's really small though, and we did close below it. I like the 2 minute better. The thing with the 2 minute is sometimes it will run without you because you have to sit here for 2 minutes before you can take your entry. It's so easy to get manipulated here, guys, with these. It looks like it's going to drop, and then it does, and you're like, oh, I'm going to miss it. Then it wicks back up. And so that whole trade idea basically goes out the window for the most part. You could still take it if you think that we're really bearish and we're going to keep dropping. But there's a possibility that because we swept this low, we could reverse back up into this fair value gap. That's the concern I would be having by still going short. Okay, we're going to see if we want to hit this London low here. So I took that 2 minute with the anticipation that we're going to run for the London lows. I have my stop at break even. We're going to see if it wants to run all the way down to this 489 level, which is right where London lows sitting. We have to push through this here. And if we do that, that means we're closing below this fair value gap. So it's a big task for us to, in the next 3 minutes, close below this on the 10-minute candle, because that means we're closing below this BISI, which I mentioned that we are. Let's see if it's going to push. We're stopping there. Stay heavy. Come on. Yeah, I'm light today, folks, with it being NFP tomorrow, so I'm not doing anything crazy. Probably get stopped out right here. There's a volume imbalance that's sitting right there. Kane, for the bearish order block, we wicked above the mean threshold but closed below it. Would that be an entry? If you wick above a mean threshold and close below it, you need to come up with if you want to make that an entry model, you can. But is it profitable? I don't know. You need to go back and test those items, Kane, and find out if when you see an order block tested, let's just say it's this order block right here. Okay, so this down closed green candle. When I see the body close right here, to me that's respecting it. To me that looks to be an entry, but you also need to make sure you're on the right side of the move. If the drawn liquidity is higher, then yeah, the issue is going to be not about is this a good entry point, it's you have the wrong bias. If you got the right bias and you hit a key liquidity point like we did with the previous day high, this is a nice possibility to use an order block. Now this is based on the 2 minute, and it looks really nice on the 2 minute, I'm not going to lie. But you're just going to need to go back and back test and look at, all right, this one worked, why did it work? This one didn't work, why didn't it work? And really put some clarity on why you would be taking those. Is he profitable, bro? I guess, I don't know. We are leaving tiny volume imbalance on the 1 minute. Yeah, when I get a lot of volume imbalances on the 1 minute, I kind of prefer to jump to a higher time frame, especially if there's a whole bunch of them. I just don't like a ton of volume imbalances. That's probably just a personal preference. Maybe I'm missing something there that you can find, Sandra. So we swept some equal lows like Ted just mentioned right here at the mean threshold, or excuse me, the consequent encroachment of the 1 hour BISI, and we're seeing some aggressive price action to the upside. The only downside to wanting to play long is we've hit the previous day high and we're at all-time highs. It's hard to bet against all-time highs, so it absolutely could work out because it worked out several times yesterday. I wanted to actually run a Fibonacci tool on let's see, 9:30. When we look at the first manipulation leg from 9:30, we have one standard deviation sitting right below the London lows. To me, that looks more attractive. I think this, to me, that makes sense. I've been back testing the first manipulation leg, so the move opposite of the direction it may want to go, and to see where it lands. This would also be, it would work for the other direction too, which is sitting up here. But I like where these levels are. I think I like that. This is our first fair value gap. Let's drop down to the 1 minute here. There's your close above. I'm not doing anything with it at the moment. I mean, this would be the spot that it would run. But I want to see if it wants to come back down. It already did. Nice tag of that 2 minute. Yeah, this looks good for an upside move. I'm just not interested in playing to the upside, so I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take any bullish moves today. We got an order block or a breaker right here in the low high, right with the manipulation leg. That breaker's low is overlapping with the midpoint of this first fair value gap. I like. Let's see if it wants to continue finding resistance from this fair value gap. Bullish breaker. I mean, I see the bullish breaker, Kane. I'm just not interested in longs. Do you understand why? Got a 1 minute fair value gap right here. All right, it closed, an aggressive close below that 1 minute. I would want to see this complete this low right here without closing above that 1 minute. And if it doesn't, we're basically in the chop zone. All this looks highly manipulative right now. Yeah. I don't. So look at this signature and price. We have two signatures in price that just happened right here, folks. We have a break above that failed and a break below that failed. This means stay out. This means don't trade. First snow day off school this year. All right, TOC. Have a good time, man. Yeah, no follow through on anything. And then here's the thing that it tries to do is you'll think you're seeing obviously no follow through, and then it gives a follow through with no indication, and then we're like, oh, what did I miss? I'm so horrible. I'm so bad. I can't figure this out. No, it's just horrible price action. It's just horrible price action. There are significantly better days. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, prior to the open, I just want to articulate this because this is very important that we understand this, okay? Prior to the open yesterday, right here, this is beautiful price action. No, that's not it. 12 a.m. December 4th. Right here. This is what price action you want to look like. High, low, higher high, breaks lower, displaces below this low, comes up into the fair value gap, into this fair value gap, and this order block, and the breaker low, and then bam, we slap it and drop. This is signature and price that I love. It's beautiful. You can take it a step further. That's the breaker. Now look at the inversion. So I trade two models, the inversion and the breaker. Here's the inversion. We close below. It wicks above it. Who cares? And then starts dropping, closes below it, and then significantly drops, runs to the lower low. All because of an inversion. And then after it hits this low, it comes back, hits the breaker, and then drops some more. This is the signatures and price we just want to memorize. That's it right there. That's good price action. This is not. You bet, Michael. Way to go. I should also mention, well, let's see what happens here. There is a discount code, BF100. It is going to expire Friday night. It's for the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. and the Discord. So the community that I have, the Purpose-Driven Trader, and the day trading course, all of that, I've had a Black Friday sale for it since Black Friday. And that expiration code BF100 is gonna be expiring Friday night. So if you're interested, feel free to check that out. You can find the link in the description, and it's a DTJ. It's dtjacademy.com. So you'll get the day trading course, also access to the day trading community with other traders, like-minded traders, and I'm currently building that community, so I want to see a lot of great things happen there. Probably be wrapping up here in about 15 minutes, folks. I'm not going to be able to make it to the next macro. So what we're looking for right now is some type of displacement showing us that it wants to move. Once we get some type of displacement, we can start putting an analysis together. But right now, we don't have any type of displacement. The only thing that I would like to see is a run for these London lows. But at this point, we really haven't had the energy to get down there. Let's look at a higher time frame. The 4 hours just closed. So the 4 hour closed here. We wicked but didn't grab this 4 hour low. The London low will be tagged, obviously, in the next 4 hours. Now, that's not saying much because that's 3 hours and 45 minutes away. So within the next 3 hours and 45 minutes, I'm pretty confident we should be tagging that low. At least that's what I would want to see. Because I'm not interested in playing for higher moves. So if I'm looking for a lower move, then I need to find the narrative that would do that. Well, we could run and sweep this high one more time. The hourly still has not closed below this. We may see if this candle wants to close below these two up close candles, creating an order block. But the fact that we hit the high and closed bearish on the hourly is indicative of a bearish move following. We just need to figure out how high does it want to go, and what level do we want to see it sweep before we start moving lower. And maybe we don't see it today because technically we shouldn't be trading prior to NFP. It's safest not to trade. Closed at 9:30 open. Did I mark my 9:30? I don't know why I forget. So that's 9:30 open, right? Kane, I do minis for evals, and I do micros for funded. If when I get my balance high enough, then I start increasing my micros higher and get it up to a mini contract. So I'll usually do 5 micros, but I'll jump up to 10 micros at times if the market's looking really good, or I feel really confident, or I've seen a trade over and over and over again that I just feel confident about. I'll do that. Northern, 100%. Or we just wait for tomorrow. I agree. We're going to be done here in about 15 minutes. Hey, don't feel bad about that, Ted. I've had stuff move before, took a trade off it, and it either failed or worked out. And then you're like, I just took a trade based off of a random line on a screen. You don't want to do that too often. The last two candles closed above it. Wicked into it and closed above it. At this point, I'd want to see it push. See if it can get up, start moving above this high. Just reading order flow. Just reading order flow. I screw up because I'm trying to rush passing my first eval and end up oversizing and taking trades I typically shouldn't be. Kane, first thing in solving the problem is recognizing it. I think you know what the answer is. Now the thing you have to address is not the act, it's the internal desire. So the internal desire is I have to make money. The internal desire needs to turn from I have to make money to I'm going to commit to learning and whatever it takes. I remember the day it changed. I can't remember the exact date, but I remember. So look at this. So the body respected those twice in a row, and then it wicked up to the top. Just little signatures in price. But I remember that day where I just like, you know what? If it takes 2 years, it's going to take 2 years, and I'm committed to it. I'm committed to learning this no matter what, and I'm going to give it 2 years. Well, I am now, since I made my first video on my channel, I am 686 days in. And I still feel I have a long ways to go. I'm significantly better. But I didn't become profitable for about a year and 4 months, year and 5 months. It took about a year, almost a year and a half, for me to get to the place where now I am consistently profitable. Am I where I want to be? Absolutely not. Right now, I'm able, based on the size and not feeling that comfort level of wanting to not size up because I'm still working out those psychological issues, and I want to do it on smaller size so I don't blow up big accounts. So right now, I have my funded accounts I've had for 2 months since my last big explosion, which was unintentional. I left a limit order on in July and didn't realize it. And I had 10 accounts and those all blew up. And since then I have my new accounts, and so I'm about 70 to 80 days in on those accounts. So consistent on it, but what I'm seeing in my chart is I go higher, and then I have fewer and fewer moments of where I allow my emotions to take trades for me. But they have gone far less than what they've used to be. And that's how I know I'm progressing as a trader. I'm identifying when I'm allowing my emotions to step in, and I'm removing myself so I don't actually make those big mistakes. It's not something where it's like you don't have it, then you have it. It's progressive. And especially when you make mistakes, you need to look back at the progress you've made and realize that, all right, well, I had this count for 2 weeks this time. I had this account for 3 weeks this time. Because you were able to manage your emotions and keep them in check for longer. As you do it more, you become more consistent and you're going to see more growth. But that's the process. That's the process of becoming a trader, a profitable trader. So now, yes, I am profitable. I am nowhere near what I want to be, but I'm paying for multiple bills in my household through trading that has taken a load off, which is great. But I have a long ways to go on where I want to be, because who is that kid in here? I don't know if he's a kid or an adult. $1 million, what's his name? I'm looking for it here. Looking for his name. It's something million. Future millionaire. Because that's going to be me. That's going to be me. And I'm confident in that. All right, so we swept these highs, and there's this. Let's look at the 2-minute. I bet you there's a nice 2-minute right here. Yep. So in a minute and a half, this candle is going to close. I want to see. Oh, there's this volume imbalance on the 2-minute. Sandra, you got me. Sandra, it's right here. So you got this 2-minute candle, but you have this volume imbalance. We need this to close below the volume imbalance. If we can close below the volume imbalance in the next 40 seconds, it's a higher probability. Again, probably not a trade that we want to. I like how it tagged 932. There's a couple things I like here. If you keep your stops tight, it might be worth taking. If it closes below, I'll take this stab. No close. No close, folks. No close. Now, here's what we want to do. We want to watch this and see what happens. I hope it runs the other way and just runs a million miles. I really hope it does, because that just confirms to you that you followed the rules and it's the right move. Now, times it's going to do this and it's going to suck. What is the one? Does the 1 minute have anything? 1 minute doesn't have anything. This one was violated. We just swept liquidity here. No, there's nothing here for us now. Yeah, that sucks. That's okay. We did just create equal lows, though. So if it keeps these equal lows here and closes somewhere close to this, I wouldn't take the trade right away. I would look to see if it wants to retrace in here first and then come down. So it's still a possibility, but this is why we wait for the confirmation of a closed candle, not the wicks, because it's the wicks that do the damage. It's the bodies that tell the story. Just for illustration purposes, I would love for this to run the other direction right now, because this is why we wait for the close. Even this candle that we thought, oh, we're missing the whole move. We're missing it. We're missing it. Guess where it freaking closed? It closed green. This is it. I mean, this is, if you can get this, guys, if you can wait for the close and let trades run and miss trades because of it, you're going to be so much better. It's a battle every time. For me, it's a battle every time. We're waiting for the close, waiting for the close. Oh, I want to take it. Oh, look, it's going. Oh, I'm going to wait for the close. I'm going to wait for the close. I'm going to wait for the close. And then it does this, and I'm like, man, I waited for the close. That makes me feel good. You know what I mean? Over time, when you see it happen more and more, you're going to get more confident. You're going to see more trades play out. It's going to just work. All right, Wilhelm. We'll see you, my friend. For those in the Discord, we will be doing a live stream in the Discord tomorrow because it's not going to be me. It's going to be another member of the Discord. In fact, it's my brother. My brother is also a day trader. He jumps on stream every once in a while, but he's in the Discord. His name is Ryan. He's going to be doing a live stream tomorrow in the Discord for those there. So that's where you can find us tomorrow. We will not be on YouTube tomorrow simply because I'm traveling and I won't be able to do that. But for the rest of you, I will be back Monday morning. Monday morning, 8:15, 5 days a week for the most part. Sometimes on Tuesdays, I have an office meeting I'm a realtor as well. So I have a office meeting on Tuesdays that I lead for realtors. But outside of that, 5 days a week, 9:15 New York Standard Time is when I am here live, ad-free. I remove all of the ads on my live streams because how annoying is it when you're in the middle of taking a trade or somebody's talking about something important and it snaps over to commercial? Freaking annoying. So for right now, all of those are free. I removed all of the ads for all of the live streams. So, and then lastly, if you do use Apex, all I ask to support the channel is to use the code DTJ. You'll get the best and most updated discount that Apex offers. Right now, I think it's back to 80% discount. So that means it's $29 for a 25K account and $33 for a 50K account. And with that, folks, God bless you. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving, full of family, full of reconnecting and memories. And I just pray you guys have a great weekend this coming weekend. And we will see you guys on Monday. So God bless. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to comment in any of the videos. I try to reach out to everybody and stay in touch. So you guys have a blessed one. Take care.